if I remember correctly, when you went from TS&D into the sales side, we didn't have at that point in time a lot of black colleagues in sales, right? Most of them were white. So in a way, you were kind of touching on role models and, somewhat of representation, right? As you come on board and you look around and you don't see anyone looking like you start drawing some conclusions on how you should look and how should you behave and all that. Can you talk more about that in terms of, you touch on the culture back in the day? What has changed over the last few years, or, that as you look around, you feel like, somebody in a very similar position like yourself, if they would to make the transition or join the team, do you think they would have the same challenge that you had back in the day?
I do. But I think things have improved. I think culture-wise, COVID has required us all to take a step back and look introspectively, have a little bit more quiet time, a little bit more peace. I think the incidents with, George Floyd being murdered by the police, that also challenged corporations to step up and look introspectively as well. So I think definitely the culture has changed over the years, but it definitely, I think new people will continue to struggle. It's just thinking about the conversation I had this morning with my wife, who's an emergency room doctor. She came home this morning and was on the phone with her friend, and she was upset that even today she met a patient that was complaining that she hadn't been treated or her symptoms haven't been recognized by other doctors. And she's been to the hospital until she ran into my wife, who's a Black woman, that someone really give her the time of day and really address her symptoms and concerns. So, it goes to say that, in the medical field, they still have uncultured bias. There's still those situations that happen. Who's to say that they aren't happening in culture in corporate America? I suspect that they are. But moving forward, I think things that, leaders have to do that I've seen you do is continue to build very diverse teams, build strong leaders that are young, that are willing to, embrace different people and embrace different thought processes, and really like to see that leaders continue to evolve, not just the organization and the young people, because young people are changing and continue to be faced with different issues, but our leaders have to continue to evolve and be welcoming and help mold these people, help these young people coming to the corporation.
To that point, I mean, if you look back, what do you think we should have done to make you feel more welcome or feel more supported? That probably we are still not even doing today. Is there anything that you believe we still have that, we had the gap back in the day and we still have it today, so we can continue to improve? What would come to mind?
Yeah, very, very much. I think continuing to have upper level leadership that of representation of Black people at upper levels. I think that's number one. Number two, continuing to have a diverse pipeline of students that are coming in so that they can continue to be mentored. So when I came in, I very much felt when I first joined the role, being fresh out of Michigan State, I had a huge learning curve, go green, Michigan fellow across the screen from me. But I felt as though, just getting comfortable being myself, going back to the trade show challenges, and finding someone that could mentor me, right? About writing an elegant email, about running a meeting. I knew some of these things in college. I had the experience in the internship, but now this was the real deal. I was a full-time employee. So having really good mentors to me is something I found probably 4 or 5 years into my career. So really having a robust mentorship program, onboarding is always a challenge for every corporation, but having people pre-identify that are in your organization that, one, you're trying to develop as leaders that can continue to be strong mentors, right? But also the people, their strong suits that are mentors. You know, I don't want to raise my hand too high, and I actually do, but, you know, continue to nudge people and recognize people for the efforts that they give, mentoring people in the organization. But until I found a really good mentor and a sponsor, I didn't feel very comfortable at Dow. And once I found those, I felt like I started to make strides in catching up to my peers, but I felt as though I was still so far behind my peers when it came to the first 5 years of my career.